To be a leader at KIPP is to be a teacher, a counselor, a support service team member, anybody. We all lead here at KIPP. We all just lead in different ways. It is our job as formal leaders to empower everyone in our building to lead from where they're at, including scholars. A piece of feedback that has informed me as a leader as well as a teacher is just knowing when and how to give a necessary conversation. The first time I received this feedback was 5 years ago when I was a mentor teacher, teacher interventionist, and a kindergarten grade level chair. I was coaching our teacher fellow, and I had just noticed through more than one observation that the teacher just was not putting in the time and effort it took to make sure that the scholars were truly mastering the skills and just being attentive. He was falling asleep when I would walk in unguided reading. Scholars didn't know what to do. There was just something missing, and it truly affected my soul, my being. Like, I was emotionally distraught. I just did not know how to communicate this to the teacher. I brought this to my coach at the time, which was Ms. Ramdani, our current school leader, and she gave me like the best piece of feedback, was to actually share it directly with the teacher. And I was afraid of just letting my vulnerability shown through. I'm very emotional. So when I was talking with Ms. Ramdani about what it was that I was seeing, like my eyes welled up and I began to cry, and she was like, he needs to see this. And I was like, no, like, that's not cool. He's gonna see like that I'm like weak, or I just don't compose myself. But at the same time, she pushed me to say, actually, no. He needs to see that his lack of investment, his lack of planning, his lack of just witness with the scholars, how this is truly affecting you and how it's going to impact scholars in the long run. So we took time and we actually practiced the speech, we practiced the script, we wrote exactly what I would say, kind of, you know, anticipating what he might say, and just kind of going back and forth and just refining it to as best as we could. And when the time really came to actually provide that feedback, I felt extremely prepared and just grounded in exactly how I was feeling. In that conversation, I did get emotional, but through my emotions, like, I was able to convey how much like this work means to me. Like, they're not just kids, they're not just scholars. Like, these are my kids, these are my scholars, this is my community, and I can't let this happen. And to showing my vulnerability and just showing that transparency, I think had a direct impact on the teacher. Hearing the feedback from my coach at the time, did it seem like the feedback that I was going to get from her? I was looking for just to say this and that, but actually bringing down that wall and showing the vulnerability gained so many tokens with that teacher. Like, just showing that I'm truly human and I'm truly invested in making sure that these scholars get what they need was just what he needed to see. Like, this is just not a game. Like, we're not playing school. Like, we're truly teaching growing scholars, and that it is his job to treat this job like a profession. The impact on the teacher definitely lit a fire underneath him, to say the least. I was getting lesson plans, he was just very receptive, and I think showing my vulnerability and being transparent, just being a person, really had a real impact, because he truly saw me like not as a leader, not as his mentee, but as a person who cares about kids and is seeing that they're not getting what they need. I received the feedback from my coach in order to get this coaching. I was excited. I love getting feedback. I love growing. It was definitely something that I had to get used to, and it's something that I've had to put into practice many times as I've now been a leader for a few years. And it all started with that one moment with my mentee. I'm naturally an upbeat, energetic, loving person, so the song that best described me is definitely Happy by Pharrell.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel